It's just fantastic. Captain's log, subdates 211231.4. Oh shit, 2021 is over. I think we're doing an end of year party here and I may have forgotten. So while I live stream and then sleep like a real Chad, my crew are going to count down the year and ring it in. The new one, that is, and I'll just sob. Welcome everyone to This Week at Twitter. Or twat. Number 100, I know, celebration. Yay. Also, the last video of 2021, which could be considered a win. I'm sure everyone says it every year regardless, some of whom believe that when the year changes, suddenly everything is new. So to start, what is your Attitude Era match? Use the day month of your birthday. For me, it is Lita in a singles match. I'm okay with this. As it is audience participation, do let me know what yours is down below. And I guess while we're in the ballpark of audience participation, by all means, tell me how much of an abomination this is. And as Maddie has correctly pointed out, it is a food crime. I have no idea what it actually is, and to be honest, it should, like Rags has recommended, be reported as a hate crime. One of the few times I'm okay with hate crime being used. Do let me know what you think about it, but also what you think should also be included, culinary-wise, as a hate crime. The obvious being pineapple on pizza. So by all means, be creative. So next we're going to go to some comedy, and it will also lead to some redemption. Yes, this is video time, I'm really sorry in advance. But brace yourselves for some actual comedic genius. Try and work out which one is the comedy though. It's really complicated.
This is a square. Can you guess which spot that goes in?
The square.
That's right, it goes in the square hole.
Yes. Okay.
And how about this rectangle? That one?
Also the square.
That goes in there too.
Yeah.
Up next, we've got this thin rectangle.
The thin rectangle.
Can you guess where that goes?
The thin rectangle.
That's right. It goes in the square hole. And up next, a cylinder.
The circle.
I think that goes in
The circle.
the square hole. Now, we've also got this semicircle right here. Do you see a slot that would fit
The semicircle.
Semicircle?
The semicircle.
That's right. It's the square hole. Okay. Up next, the triangle. We know what hole that goes
The
into,
triangle.
right?
Triangle.
That's right. The square hole. And up next, triangle. Do you see a hole
triangle.
that'll fit the triangle?
The triangle.
That's right. The triangle hole. Up next, the circle or cylinder.
The
Can
circle.
you guess where that goes?
The circle.
That's right. The circle. We also have an arch. That goes in the arch hole.
Oh my god.
While it is possible that was nothing more than one hell of a troll, Poe even perhaps, the comedic talent was very much there for all to see. If you didn't get the joke, chances are you're not funny. Tell me you suffer with OCD without telling me you suffer with OCD. By all means replace the letters OCD with an entirely different word that ends with ick. The joke still seems accurate. So next we're going to talk about Paul Feig. Paul Feig directed the all-whammon version of the Ghostbusters, which was universally panned because, let's face it, it was a bad idea from the offset, and it annoyed everyone. Yet millions, hundreds of millions were spent on it. Something that was so bad, when it came out on DVD, it was already in the bargain bin. Sony recently announced an ultimate gift set for Ghostbusters, which did not include Ghostbusters 2016, which I personally was 100% okay with. Paul Feig, Sony? I know this must be a mistake. We do have a lot of fans, and Bill, Dan and Ernie were in it, and it won the Kids' Choice Award for Best Feature Film the year it came out. So I guess this was just an oversight? Hashtag we are all Ghostbusters. Personally, I stood by it being omitted. I felt that if you were going to release a collection and people are going to want to watch it, you probably don't want to include the ones that sucked. And if you've forgotten what turned people off it to begin with, it was when Paul Feig and many others were saying, "This is an all-women film, look at them go! The women are so strong!" It really pissed us off to have something shoved down our throats with a story that was a rehash of a rehash of a rehash. Oh, and, by the way, beating the villain at the end with a cock shot? Come on. Well, unsurprisingly, Sony eventually, digitally, added the reboot. Yay. For those though who do buy this collection, which will be on DVD, don't worry, you don't have to redeem the digital code for 2016 Ghostbusters, which means your little trilogy box set is untarnished. Unless of course you don't like Afterlife, in which case you got 2 out of 3, which is still better than 50%, right? Apple has recently had an issue when it comes to their engineers. The issue has been that Meta, you know, the rather shite name for the entire face cuck group, has taken it upon themselves to poach around 100 engineers from Apple. The main reason these engineers were poached was so that Zuckerberg could in fact build up that whole meta universe thing he had been talking about in that remarkably robotic and cringy video. Apple's now taken it upon themselves to offer bonuses to members of staff, so engineers more notably that remain with Apple. How does this tie into Twitter, you ask? At Meta PCs. Lol, at Apple. Sorry. Now this tweet tickled me for an obvious reason, because some people didn't realize Meta PC is not the same as Meta. It also tickled me because Apple are having to offer so much more money to keep its engineers, which tells me there is a possibility the engineers are worth more than what they're getting paid for in the first place. Negotiations may commence shortly. A few weeks ago we spoke about Susu, aka the artist formerly known as the swimsuit succubus. She's been hit a number of times by YouTube, demonetized, restricted, undemonetized, then demonetized again, and it quite frankly goes round and round in circles. Invariably it ended up with her videos getting, upon additional appeals, demonetized. Or recently, Susu, hi again Team YouTube. My video got marked 18+ and demonetized with no specific reason given. Was it the cussy? Can you look over it again? I believe this was a mistake. Included is a link to the video in question. Unlike the last time where this was unsuccessful, at Team YouTube, hi there. We have reviewed the video and can confirm the age restriction was not warranted here. With that being said, the video has been approved and the age restriction has been lifted. And because the reply underneath is apt, Joel DBA. Holy shit. YouTube didn't give someone the runaround for once? What? The next one was sent to me by Sparky's Tech Corner. They were hit by copyright claims from a certain company. I've been hit by them myself. I didn't care for it in the slightest. Hey Omegon, I have another guy that has been hit by Kumso, like I did. Just sharing what I know, and I'll link the videos. Below is a retweet from the creator in question. The retweet reads as follows. Last words from #YouTube. They know I'm getting effed over, but there's nothing they can do about it. Included is an image from someone called Christian. This may be something that you don't want to hear. I want to assure you that I'm on your side, and this is the best that I can do for you at this time. Don't hesitate to reach out in case you have other questions or concerns. I'll do my best to help. Now, I did reach out to them directly via a separate tweet to get additional context, which we will get to in a moment. Instead, we're going to focus on this tweet here. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what's right or wrong to YouTube. Now I can't create content until March, with the image underneath confirming that they believe that the copyright takedown notices were in fact legitimate. So Charles's Anime World put out a video called Goodbye for Now on December the 15th, talking about what's going to be happening and when they will be returning. So I mentioned a moment ago that I reached out to Charles Grand Hell, and they did DM me to give me additional context. They've been attacking me for weeks now. I even made a video about it. Kumso GmbH, do a Google search on them and then click the review button. They tried to take down my YouTube videos before. YouTube denied their claims initially. They got upset and started attacking my social media because they couldn't take my YouTube channel down at first. This is a long story. This all started November the 9th to the 15th. Between those dates, Kumso GmbH sent a total of 11 copyright infringement notifications to my YouTube account for videos that weren't even mine. I didn't own any of these videos. YouTube quickly denying all of them and said they were falsified. On December the 8th, I received 9 copyright takedowns for my videos. All videos in questions were reviews for Eden Zero. Let me paint a picture for you on this company. On the 16th of November, when YouTube agreed they indeed were sending fraudulent claims to my channel, then, as you can see in the screenshots below, I caught them in their own comment, and they basically admitted to attacking me. Then when I called them out on it, they called me a Karen. We all know what that means. I had to act fast, so I had to delete all 170 of my Eden Zero reviews. As you can see, they were trying to destroy my channel. I'm an American citizen. This Cumso GmbH company based in Germany is attacking me specifically. If you go to YouTube right now and type Eden Zero Review Chapter 171, all other reviews are still there. I've found out I'm not the first. This company's been harassing people for years, just to build up their own portfolio. My Eden Zero reviews were manually claimed by this trash company based in Germany, while everyone else's is okay. I also believe they also got pissed off because I made a video about how bad of a company they were for sending me fake copyright claims initially. Even YouTube can see something is up. Below are the screenshots in question, and it's quite interesting you mention this company because I've been hit by them myself before. I know many creators that have. It is unacceptable to misuse the copyright system, yet companies like this do it all the time, because once they get a glimmer of attention, they can't help but absolutely milk it. And YouTube eventually will side with them because attrition always wins with them. Not hard work paying off. No. Not abiding the very system they created. No, in fact, what they really appreciate is some crappy company from another country misusing their copyright system so many times that they just have to say yes so it stops. Someone gets their own way, and YouTube can pretend they don't give a damn and pretend and deny all responsibility. How precious. Now I'm going to link Charles Grandhel's YouTube channel in the pinned comment down below. I highly recommend everyone go and subscribe on principle. So as we all deserve something light-hearted, we go to Carissa Messina. I would have done the same thing. He did good crying laughter emoji. One time a guy picked me up to take me on our first date, and he was playing this god-awful metal music, so I turned it down, and he legit made an illegal U-turn and took my ass right back home without saying one word. Liked 10,000 times? I couldn't help but notice though when I went and looked up Hitcock Bottom that their account was deleted, and I even went and checked just to be sure because, it turns out they'd been archived before by somebody else, and they had 40,000 followers. Was it really this one tweet? You claim to be memes. Was it this tweet that got you to delete your account? Is someone a bit sensitive? Is someone a bit of a snowflake? Well, it is the right time of year to be one, I guess. So next, Logan Paul was trending, and this one got sent to me as well by Guilty Zyphos. Zephus? At Omegon. Hey crew abuser bro, look what Logan Paul did today. Logan Paul tweeted out a video that he has shared on TikTok of him making his very first epoxy resin project. The project is a table with Game Boy colors and a metal Pokemon frame, and the absolute triggering in the responses was 100% scrumptious. And rightly so. The thing is, I own Game Boys. I have one. I have a Game Boy Color and a Game Boy Advance, in fact. And no point had I ever thought of doing this because it's genius. If they ever stop working, I may well do something similar. For now, they still work, and I have no intention of doing this. Ultimately, the people who get triggered by this, may I just say, he can do whatever he wants with his property. Don't be so sensitive, because honestly, it isn't your consoles he's doing it to. It's his consoles. And he's made a really cool table in the process. He's also piggybacked on a trend that is quite popular at the moment, making something out of epoxy. There's a guitar channel called Burl's Art who does something very similar. It is quite creative. I actually quite enjoy that kind of content. Although I do wish he kind of put some holes in it to access the buttons. For old time's sake, of course. So next, as we all love a good joke, Nick Goroff, aka Wizard of Cause on YouTube, linked to his channel in the pinned comment down below. Why on earth does Amazon keep publishing my reviews of stuff I don't own and didn't buy? I don't get how I'm still getting away with this. Accompanying it is a review for a 7.5-foot artificial holiday Christmas tree. I not only lost my cat in this, but one of my children too. 3 out of 5 stars. Have you ever wanted to dive face first into adventure? To scale great heights and explore the depths of the wild? This morning I was awoken to the sound of scampering feet as several children, some of whom actually live here, found me face down in this tree. The shards of my favorite Christmas ornament, that being an empty Seagram's gin bottle laid smashed beneath my face. The looks of horror on their little faces as my gashed and ghoulish visage permanently ruined Christmas for them for decades to come, made drunkenly climbing that tree totally worth it. It would have stayed standing had I not elected to Cirque du Soleil, that big brushy yeah. All in all, while binding it up with wire and putting it away for next year, I was curious to know why the whimpers of children could be heard just before I shut the attic door. But aside from them sounding like my miserable and terrified still as of now missing children, I think it was definitely a worthwhile buy. I'll be buying several more next year to sell along the highway. If you can't tell that's a joke, might I also point out the tree was reviewed on the 24th, and in that same review he indicated he was already taking it down. Maybe he celebrates Festivus. The subject of NFTs has, let's say, progressed into the gaming world. Many people don't like NFTs. They consider it a con where you don't really own the art you throw money at, or cryptocurrency at, Ethereum, whatever you want to call it, at. My view on it is quite simple. Don't use Stan Lee and his memory to sell NFTs. I did a video on it earlier in the month. You may not have noticed it because it kinda tanked, but that's alright. The subject is still there and I'll link it down below in case you want to watch it. And smash the like. Well, Kotaku. Doom Mod has replaced blasting demons with taking pictures of NFTs, which has unsurprisingly led to an article, but also Razlan, who's featured in these, NFTs. Yes, this isn't funny. Reply underneath. No oceans for V. You're right. It's not funny. It's hilarious. By the way, they ratioed you. Razlan, this is absolutely false. You should get educated that it is uncool to commit a crime. I think someone should stop being a salty little bish that their NFTs are being used in video game mods. If you have an issue with it, talk to the modder. I'm sure they'll be totally reasonable with you. And your grift. Magog of Morscar. Who the hell is Jack Murphy? Charming Man 93. Who be Jack Murphy? Beach Muscles. Jack Murphy exposed for being a cuck and a manosphere fraud. Included in that tweet is a 9-minute 55-second video going into detail about who Jack Murphy is. I'm going to give you the Cliff's Notes. Jack Murphy sells a product of how to be essentially an alpha male. You know, toxic man. It is an expensive product, but with it comes a certain face of the product, and that face is usually somebody who is alpha as Fook. But what has come out kinda makes him look, well, about as much an alpha male as Ethan Ralph is skinny. Because a few years ago an article was penned. In the article were various comments about him admitting to being a cuck. The only reason this all came to light again was because of a super chat on a Blaze TV podcast show thing with Sydney Watson. She read out the super chats, one of which asked a question about that article. And Jack Murphy got very cross and basically pouted and stormed off. Now they eventually quashed it all backstage, it was dealt with, an agreement was made, but then he went and talked shit on Tim Pool about her. This all spiraled a bit more, and people then started to post pictures of things that, well, no. Jack has gone to claim that this is revenge porn, even though he has also admitted that he and his wife partook in camera shows where they made a lot of money having sex with each other. It has caused quite the furore on Twitter for people like The Quartering, who Jack Murphy is alleged to have weaponized his own audience to go in on, which I'll admit is one hell of a defensive way of handling being called a cuck, even though your own words would confirm it, and the only reason you're doing this, going in on people the way you are, employing bad tactics to do this, is entirely to protect your rather lucrative brand of alpha maleness. Now, as we are finished here, I'd very much like to know what you all think. Please do let me know in the comments down below. Smash the like, share the video, all that good jazz. This is the last video of 2021. I know it's been a tough year for a lot of people. I've enjoyed this, and I hope to continue doing so next year. So I will see you all on Monday. Thank you all very much for listening and of course sticking around. Ta-ta for now.